Hello! Welcome to Rural Community Assistance Corporation's virtual Start, Grow, Revive Your Business workshop series, Module 6. My name is Christina Brownlee, and I am a Rural Development Specialist with RCAC. Before we begin, we would like to take a moment to recognize our funder, the U.S. Department of Commerce Minority Business Development Agency, for their generous support. As you can see, we are making great progress on our workshop roadmap. Today, we will be talking about important decisions related to managing your business. In this module, we will identify the business team needed for your success. We will recognize why businesses need a staffing plan and where to go for help building one. And we will know how to describe your business in the company section of your business plan. Today, we'll start by introducing 4 important business skills. We'll look at staffing your business. We'll reflect on customers, competition, and marketing. And finally, we'll review next steps.
Let's start by diving into the 4 critical business skills. There are 4 critical business skills that each entrepreneur must juggle: producing the product, finding buyers and customers, managing the money, and managing the business and the overall strategic operations, represented here by this football playbook. These 4 skills are critical, but no one can be equally good in all 4 areas. If you think of these skills as the 4 legs of a table, success is limited by the weakest leg. What happens when you have a table with an uneven leg? It wobbles. What do you do when you go to a restaurant and you sit at a wobbly table? You probably grab some sugar packets or wad up a napkin and shove it under the shorter leg to balance the table, right? When you're talking about these 4 critical skills, the solution is to build a team with people who are strong in the skills where you are a bit weaker. This way, all of the legs are even. In reflection, we would like you to think about which of the roles you're good at, which of the roles or skills do you like best, and think about how you can fill the roles that you're not good at or that you don't like doing. So think about who you might need to build your team.
Now we're going to talk about business staffing. So why bring on more people? There are a few reasons you as a business owner might choose to do this. A few common reasons are to do a job you can't do, to do a job you don't want to do, and to do a job you don't have time to do. There are a few ways to build a business team, but you'll hear some terms to refer to people that are in specific roles in relation to your business. A partner shares in both the risk and the reward of your business. An employee has regular set hours and pay, and a consultant is hired to perform a specific skill or job on an as-needed or on an irregular basis. There's pros and cons to each type of team member. We'll talk more about this in the online interactive session.
Thanks, Nick. A staffing plan is a tool that can help you begin to think about who you will employ to build your business team so you have each of the critical business skills covered, how much you'll pay each member of your business team, and how much your business team will cost on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual basis. Developing a staffing plan is an important part of making sure you take all your business costs into consideration. Most of the entrepreneurs we work with are looking to employ only themselves, or maybe themselves and 1 or 2 other people. But developing a staffing plan is important even if you are or will be the only person your business employs. Remember, in Module 5, Chris talked about the steps of moving from an informal to a formal business. One of those steps was beginning to make estimated quarterly federal tax payments. Developing a staffing plan can help you begin to estimate the cost of those quarterly tax payments so you're not caught off guard by the amount you owe at the end of the year and you don't have to pay tax penalties later on down the road. Now that we know the importance of developing a staffing plan, we're going to take a little closer look at how to develop a staffing plan. Please take a second to find the staffing plan handout in your workbook behind the Module 6 PowerPoint so you can follow along. But don't worry, we're not asking you to fill this table out now. We just want you to begin thinking about how you'll fill the table out so you can get the most out of our next online interactive session. There are two sections of the staffing plan. Right now, we're going to focus on the top section, payroll. This section helps you begin to figure out the cost of each owner, employee, and consultant on your business team. There are several rows, so each team member or type of team member can be listed separately. And don't forget, if you expect to pay yourself, you'll want to include yourself in the staffing plan as a business owner. Once each team member or type of team member is listed in the first column, the second column is used to indicate whether the team member is an owner, an employee, or a consultant. The third column is used to keep track of how many of each type of team member you'll have. The fourth column is used to keep track of how many hours each team member or type of team member will work each week. And the fifth column is used to show how much you'll pay each team member or type of team member on an hourly basis. Please know, this is just a quick introduction to the top section of the staffing plan to help you begin thinking about how you'll fill it out. We'll dig deeper into the process of completing the staffing plan during our next online interactive session. But if you have questions or want help in the meantime, please reach out to Nick or Madison. They can help you begin the process even sooner. Now I'll turn things back over to Nick to talk about staffing and organizational charts.
One of the tools you can use to organize your hiring needs is a staffing chart. It's a visual way of showing who does what, who's in charge, and who reports to who. It helps to reduce confusion and make sure all business functions are covered. This is what a typical organizational chart looks like, but they don't always have to look like this. Here's an example of an organizational chart for a cooperative. A cooperative is a business owned by and operated for the benefit of the people using its services. In this organizational structure, cooperative members elect a board of directors who hire management and staff that serve the members. It doesn't matter what your organizational chart looks like, as long as it helps you explain who does what, who's in charge, and who reports to who.
Now, we are going to discuss customers and competition. So what does every business need? That's right, every business needs customers. In order to not only survive, but to thrive, every business needs customers, people to buy your good or use your service. It's important to be able to describe your customers. You've already begun to tackle this in the problem or needs section of the Canvas. If you think back to the questions in box 2, can you describe the people that are most likely to have this need? Do your customers have a common gender, age range, location, or interest? Anything else you're seeing? These are all important details as you start to get to know your customers and their preferences so you can serve them better. So what does every business have? Competition. Can you think of a business that doesn't have any competition? Almost every business has competition. There are two basic types, direct and indirect. Direct competition sells the same product or provides the exact service. In this example, McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King all offer hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, that type of general menu. Indirect competition sells a product or provides a service that meets the same need. The need is that you are hungry, and although restaurant options like Pizza Hut and Subway do not offer hamburgers, they still offer a way to make sure you have something for dinner. To really understand your competitors, you need to ask these questions. Who is the competition? Is the competition direct or is it indirect? Where are they located? What are their prices? What are their strengths and what are their weaknesses? And finally, why is your business better? As you are working to identify your competition, think back to the problem section of the Canvas and the questions in box 3 that asked how potential customers are solving the problem or need, and to describe the other solutions that are currently available. Your answers to these questions will help guide you to think about who your competitors are and how your idea could better fit the need.
Now let's talk about pricing your products or services. Some things to think about are cost to make and sell the product or service. Make sure the price you charge covers your costs. Quality. Make sure that customers know what they're getting when they buy your product. For example, if you're selling clothing, make sure that the clothes that your customers buy don't fall apart in the washing machine the week after they buy them. Competition. Is there someone nearby selling the exact same thing for half as much? Does the quality of your product make it worth the extra cost? And the end price to the consumer. If you're not selling directly to your customers, but selling to another business that sells to your customers, you can't charge that middleman what you expect your consumer to pay. Let's think about what should be included in your costs. There are several things that you'll want to include in your business costs, but it's important to remember not to forget to factor in your time and salary as well. Now we just have some reflection questions to help us build on our lesson on pricing. How do you or will you set prices? Have you taken all of your costs into consideration? How do you or will you make sure there's money left over to pay yourself?
Thanks, Nick. Now we'll look at marketing and your marketing mix. Your marketing mix, also sometimes referred to as the 4 Ps of marketing, is about balancing the products or services you offer, the placement or distribution of products, which focuses on how you get them into the hands of your customers, the prices you charge, and how you promote or advertise your products. It's important to keep your customers and potential customers in mind when making decisions related to each of these 4 areas. For example, if you have a high-quality product, but your packaging is sloppy or unappealing, it might affect how customers think about your product overall and whether or not they're willing to buy from you. Or if customers are buying a product that requires shipping, but the deliveries are often late because you're using the post office instead of an express shipping option, it might affect if people are willing to buy from you again. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how great your products or services are if your advertising isn't reaching your potential customers and they don't know you exist. Ensuring your business offers the products or services people want to buy, where they can find them, at the prices they're willing to pay, is critical to the long-term success of your business. There are a lot of great resources on RCAC's Initiate platform related to marketing and your marketing mix. They cover everything from marketing basics to social media advertising to developing a website. Be sure to check them out. For your next steps for our upcoming live interactive session, think about how you'll fill out the staffing plan to make sure you're taking all your costs into consideration, including the costs of building a team to help you address the 4 critical business skills. Create a first draft of an organizational chart for your business using the handout in your workbook behind the staffing plan handout. If you're planning to launch your business or startup expansion with you as the only employee, be sure to think about the 4 critical business skills and how you can creatively fill the jobs you can't do, don't want to do, or don't have time to do yourself. Be sure to include these team members, even if they're unpaid, in your organizational chart. Once you've created your organizational chart, please take a picture and post it in the Facebook group. And finally, take 10 minutes or so to fill out the Assessing the Competition handout in your workbook. Don't forget, all businesses have competition. What does or will your competition look like, and what are their strengths or weaknesses?
Just a reminder that if you need help anytime throughout this workshop series, please feel free to contact us. If you're participating in this workshop on Fort Belknap or Rocky Boy, please contact Nick Dorr with OLI. And if you're joining us from Northern Cheyenne, please feel free to contact me, Madison, at NADC. Thank you for participating in the virtual SGR workshop series. We look forward to connecting with you during your community's online interactive session. In the meantime, please feel free to post your thoughts and questions about Module 6 in your community's Facebook group. Remember, you can always contact Nick or myself if you have any questions. Our contact information is included in the front of your workbook.